G'day, Max Solutioners. How are we all? Looking forward to Monday's session where we're going to complete the Real Talk that we're going to set up. And thank you for your patience. It's been such an interesting journey, these sessions, running them virtually. And often I'm finding that these extra little sessions have to happen to make sure that we get everything that we need to get done. It's really important now that we do follow up and we practice that Real Talk using your Max Solutions Queensland office culture code that we've created over the journey since our first session all the way back in February. Can you believe that, guys? So again, just to reiterate what you're going to be doing, and I can see a lot of people have already done it because we're going into the Google Sheet, is first and foremost, you fill in your self-reflection template, again, using the culture code poster to fill this in, your name, your position, and the date you entered, that's fine. What are your personal values? What 3 words do you want to be described as, okay? And again, then it ends up becoming your kind of personal code, okay? We have the values of your culture code, and if they're the same, by all means, if you want that to be what you really want to be known as, that's fantastic. Absolutely put that in there. What are your strengths? What behaviors from the code do you feel you're doing really well? And then attach a story and example where possible. The more you can attach stories and examples to your feedback and your behaviors, the better it will be, okay? If there are other strengths that aren't on the code, like if there's other behaviors or things that you think you've been doing well, chuck them in there for sure, okay? We're always using the culture code as a reference point for conversations about performance and practicing that real talk, both externally to our peers and also internally to ourselves, okay? Once you've done that, you go down and you look at areas of growth. What do you believe you can improve on? And again, some examples where you may have been able to up-level that particular behavior, okay? And at the bottom, expectations, similar type of question, but sometimes brings out a little tweak in the work. Now, the bottom part here as well, don't worry about that right now. We'll do that in the actual session, okay? Beautiful work. So that's your first exercise you should be able to complete. And I can see Sam's filled out hers there, which is great, and Beck and so on, okay? Fantastic work. Now, after you've done that, you've got, where are we going here? We'll go down to this one here, and we'll go to peer-to-peer. Right, in this one here, the groups that you've been put in, put your team members' name there, okay, and what you think they can work and to improve on, and stories and what they've done well, okay, and again, use your culture code. This is going to move around a little bit, sorry, but again, using your culture code poster as the reference point. What do you think that particular team member is doing well from a behaviors perspective? Sorry here, just bear with us. There's quite a few people on each team. And then enter that into there, and then stories and examples wherever possible. Really important, we keep leaning into stories and examples when we're practicing Real Talk. Then secondly, what do you think that individual can improve on? What behaviors from the code? And again, if there's something else that's not on the code, chuck it in there, and stories and examples to validate that feedback. When we come to the session on Monday, we'll all get a chance to practice peer-to-peer. Once everyone's finished the peer-to-peer, the person who's been receiving the feedback, the Real Talk, will then lean on their self-reflection, and then you'll be able to have a conversation and see where the potential gaps are, okay? It's a really awesome session coming up. People love this part of the work. It's challenging for sure, but we're here to improve, and there has to be, we know, like the way that we learn as humans, we have to be challenged to grow and improve. It's just the reality of the whole situation. And at the end of it, it's a liberating experience because you get some really good clarity on what you need to do from a behaviors perspective to be the best teammate that you can be and the best performer you can be for that team, okay? If you're having troubles with the Google Doc, do let me know. But in a worst case scenario, there's nothing wrong with grabbing this and putting it in an Excel document and sending it through to me, and I can enter the data later. As long as you are able to share your information in the session, we can figure out and collate the data at a later time. And I know there's been a few people who have sent me some information that I've got to run through on my particular email there, okay, which I'll get to over the next 24 to 48 hours, okay? The big thing here, as again, we always use our code as the reference point for having conversations about performance. And then in the session, we'll set you into the breakout rooms, and I'll keep popping in to each one and making sure that we're running the process, because I will teach you a process by which to run the session, which I'll do that at the start of the session on Monday. Have a wonderful Friday, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you on Monday next week. Ciao, ciao.